everybody, welcome back to the channel. Since the Lightning haven't made a move in over 3 weeks and the 2020-2021 NHL season is getting closer and closer, I took a look at the Lightning's current roster, who they need to sign back as RFA, what UFA they could bring back, what trades they need to make, and who they could call up from the minors. Let's get started. To figure out what needs to happen, we first need to know what we have so far. You look at the Lightning roster, they have 19 players under contract on the main roster with less than $3 million. What will the Lightning do with that? Well, first we need to figure out what the contracts are going to be for the RFAs. You'll notice when I click on the Lightning that they have 6 restricted free agents. Right now, Alexander Volkov is the first one that we will do. 1 year, $700K, league minimum. Seems like a very easy contract. Same thing will happen with Dominic Machine. Same thing will happen with Matthew Joseph. The big three are a little bit more difficult. I think Eric Chernak's the easiest one of the big three, so we're going to do him first. For him, I have $2,500,000 for 3 years. He is going to be the staple of that second pair, right-handed side. Next up, we've got Anthony Cirelli. I think he'll take less than $5 million, $4.75 million for 2 years. A little bit of a bridge contract. And Mikhail Sergachev will take a bridge contract as well. Let's say he'll get 4.375, and he'll probably get 3 years. So, that extra year makes up for a little bit less money. Now, you'll notice that we are over the cap by $11 million, so we need to trade people. The first one is going to be Tyler Johnson. He's on waivers already. Why not try to get rid of his massive deal? A team that might need to use Tyler Johnson is the Detroit Red Wings and Steve Yzerman. If Steve Yzerman and the Red Wings are going to take him, they're going to need a sweetener. Boris Katchouk, step right on down. So Katchouk is a great prospect, helps the Wings out a lot. We don't get that much in return, just a couple of draft picks, but you can't really ask for much more if you're trying to shed over $5 million in salary. You'll notice that we still are a ton over the cap, so we need to sign more people out of Tampa Bay. Alex Killorn, I'm sorry, I love the Doc Hawk videos. You are next. A team that could use Killorn is someone like Nashville. They just got rid of Craig Smith. Alex Killorn fills their needs pretty well. A couple of picks, but a condition on one of those picks. Now, the 2022 fourth-round pick should turn into a 2022 second if Killorn scores 20 goals in either the 2020-21 season or the 21-22 season, because he's only scored 20 goals once. If he does it again, I think that the Lightning should be a little bit more rewarding for getting Nashville another 20-goal scorer, probably playing with someone like Duchesne. I don't know, maybe Arvidsson. So that is where Alex Killorn is probably going. And the Lightning are still over the cap, as we'll see as I scroll down. So they need to get rid of some depth guys because there's no more big-time guys you can get rid of. Cedric Paquette will be the next to go. And as far as teams go, you could choose anybody. I'm choosing Anaheim. And the pick that I'm getting back is not that big. So that is the type of deal you need to get rid of Cedric Paquette, make Mitchell Stevens the fourth-line center. But we'll get to that. Braden Coburn's another guy that needs to go because of his pretty expensive deal for someone that doesn't normally play. Originally, I was going to send him to Vegas. Vegas doesn't really make sense. Ottawa's a team that needs bodies. He goes to Ottawa for a late pick. Now, we are not over the cap anymore. The problem is we don't have enough players. You normally need 21 to 22 players. First step, bring up ABB. He's definitely making the roster next year. Next step, bring up Ross Colton. I think that he would be a great fourth liner, or at least a depth player. And finally, for that right-handed side of your defense, bring up Cal Foote. what you'll need to do next is sort of finagle the roster a little bit. Shed's not going to play every night. Machine is probably not going to play on the main roster at all, and we'll see that we don't have enough defensemen. Shen again will not play every single night. So what do we have to do? We have to go to our unrestricted free agents and find a friend of ours, Jan Ruda. Sign him to a 1-year contract anywhere between $800K and $1 million. Put him next to Victor Hedman like he was for all that time last year. And now your defense is much, much better. On the forward side, you said Matthew Joseph down to Syracuse adds some depth, and you go to work. Stamkos could be that Megadeth option on the Stamkos Point Kucherov line. However, I think he'd be a winger better on Cirelli's line. So you put Andre Palat back in his normal position. Who would be next to Cirelli and Stamkos? Alex Barré-Boulet, a fantastic scorer. And then, of course, you keep that third line from the playoffs, and that fourth line becomes Maroon, Stevens, and Volkov, with Ross Colton as the extra guy.
And that's your roster. You now have enough cap space. You now have enough players on the roster. You have substitutes in case you need them. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, you want to yell at me in the comments, feel free. If you like this video, please feel free to like it. If you liked it enough that your friends might like it, share it with your friends. Subscribe to the Baybolts channel. Don't be afraid to follow us on Twitter as well at Bay_Bolts for all your news, notes, and game recaps will hopefully be coming very soon. I'm Michael Wax. Thank you guys so much for taking this journey with me. And hopefully the Lightning will have a move that we can actually announce and not one that I thought of in my little fantasy world. Take care, guys.